little weaselly one with a bush of grey hair? You scoffed at him, you know you did. You said he ought to be a monk because he had a built-in tonsure. You can't mean to marry him. He's rich, Arabella had said simply. During the week, he lives in a service flat. Oh, Miranda, it's the height of luxury. He gets his breakfast and the most wonderful dinners as part of his rent, and the flat is kept clean as well. And then he's got a mansion in the Lake District. Oh, I've always loved the lakes. And he says that if I marry him, we'll live there whenever I haven't got an important part at the theatre. But you told me ages ago that if you got an important part at the theatre, we'd be in clover, Miranda had begun, only to be immediately interrupted. Don't rub it in. It was sheer prejudice which got Maria the part of Lady Macbeth instead of me, Arabella had said hotly. So now you jolly well choose, Miranda Lovage. A pauper's existence on our own, or a life of pampered luxury with Gervase. And since it would be me who had to put up with him day and night, I don't see why you should even be asked which you would prefer. She'd looked sideways at her daughter through her thick, curling blonde lashes. I've told him that if I agree to marry him, it will be what you might call a marriage of convenience. I shall have my own room, and though we shall share a name, I will be like a sister to him, or a housekeeper. Do you understand, Miranda? He is offering me a way out of my difficulties and expecting nothing in return, save for the duties a housekeeper would perform. Of course, he hopes I will become truly fond of him as time goes by, but Miranda had heard enough. Just because you aren't a good enough actress to earn a decent salary, that doesn't mean I have to suffer, she shouted. But even as she did so, she realized her own helplessness. Until she was old enough to earn her own living, she really had no choice. Her father had died some years previously, and she knew of no living relatives save for her Aunt Vi, her mother's half-sister, and Aunt Vi's daughter Beth, both of whom disliked Arabella and her offspring, and would, Miranda knew, be more likely to gloat over the Lovages' misfortune than offer to help. So when Arabella had said, "Oh, darling, if I'd got Lady Macbeth, or if you'd agreed to my joining that repertory company last year when I was offered a place, only you didn't want to move up to Scarborough, then we would have managed somehow. But as it is—" She'd held out her arms as she spoke, and Miranda had hesitated, then heaved a sigh and gone stiffly into her mother's embrace, saying, "But do try to think of a way out, Arabella. Surely there must be something you could do so I wouldn't have to change schools and houses and everything. I'll think as well, and perhaps between us—" "My dearest little Miranda, do you not realize that I've been racking my brains for a solution ever since the Madison players gave Lady Macbeth to Maria? Things have got to change. The rent for this house has gone up again. Your school fees are downright ridiculous, even the uniform. But it's no good talking. It's either marry Mr. Gervase or change our whole way of life. And I do think Mr. G's offer is extremely generous. However, we'll both sleep on it, and tomorrow we'll talk about it again." So now, Miranda, finding herself abruptly awake, remembered the quarrel and thought it was a miracle that she'd ever managed to get to sleep at all. Indeed, it had taken her quite a while to drop off, but having done so, she'd slept so deeply that for a moment she wondered what on earth could have woken her, apart from a trumpet call or a brigade of guards marching through the bedroom and exhorting her to get up at once. But judging by the dim light coming from between the curtains, it was still the middle of the night. So what had woken her? Miranda lay down again, but sleep would not come. Suppose her mother had been so upset by the quarrel that she'd failed to lock the door, and burglars had entered the house. The Lovages lived in Sycamore Avenue near Prince's Park, for Arabella Lovage believed appearances were important.